hopeful and fear till you leave the.
This is a TikTok of people that went to an Airbnb. I don't know if you guys seen this. This is going viral right now.
Oh, the fake one? Toilet?
Yeah, the one with the toilet.
Oh
Yo, they were scrolling through the channels on their TV at the Airbnb, and then one of the channels was a toilet cam. So they saw this.
What is that? Is that ours?
So they saw the toilet, and they're scared it's theirs. Check this out. The lady goes to go check it out and see if it's actually theirs, and look what happens. It's her. It's her. She pops up on the camera. No. So the Airbnb set up a camera to look at the toilet, fam. And the crazy part is, this is dead ass real. Like, this isn't even fake. Look. They looked at the vents and everything. It's all there. So what they did, they ended up canceling that Airbnb and then going to a new one because that was legit them spying on them.
You can never trust nowadays, bro.
Dark world we're in, I've noticed a pattern in what is being represented. People think that this stuff is just a game. There is a reason why you see people dressed up as Satan, not just, you know, like Satan slipping himself in a little bit. No, full on visuals of Satan, people dressed as Satan, you know, dressed as a demon, got upside down crosses all on their clothes or pentagrams on their clothes. And people are just like, oh, that's funny. It's, you know, we're making fun. No, there's a reason why the entertainment industry is doing that, y'all. They know good and doggone well that God exists. They also know that Satan exists. They're just counting on the fact that y'all don't know that. But either way, the things that you take in, that they're feeding you, those things affect you. Whether you realize it in the moment or not, they affect you. That's why they do it. Entertainment industry, it's about influence.
Today we're going to talk about the 6 infected classes you'll find in the Last of Us franchise. Now, when it comes to the cordyceps fungus, not virus, the more exposure and the longer exposure determines what happens. A class 1 infected, also known as the runner, is simply just someone who's kind of gone insane. We can see in the art book that originally they were going to have weapons, but thank God they don't. That's terrifying. As you can see with a class 2 infected, there's more fungal growth, and these ones are called stalkers. As you can tell by their name, stalker, they tend to be a little smarter how they hunt. A class 3 infected is called the clicker, and as you can see here, the fungus has completely grown out of their skull, completely removing their eyesight. The reason they're called clickers is because they make a horrifying clicking noise as a sort of echolocation. There's actually 2 class 4 infected. One is the bloater, which throws spore-like grenades at you. The other is the shambler, which charges at you, pins you down, and explodes acid all over you. Then there's the class 5 infected, called the super stalker. It has the ferocity of a clicker, the stealthiness of a stalker, and can throw spores at you like a bloater. And then there's the Rat King. This is what happens when the cordyceps is allowed to grow 20 years unbothered. If you're thinking, oh my god, is that a bunch of different infected fused together? Yeah! In fact, that's where the super stalker comes from. It falls off from it. And just to be clear, these are the only cordyceps documented so far. There's probably more. And bonus clip, this is the actors doing mocap for the Rat King. Magical day, everyone.
Have you ever wondered how accurate police sketches are? I'm going to show you a sketch, then the person, and we're going to see. And this is part of a series, so make sure you follow along. This is the Unabomber, probably the most famous police sketch ever drawn. And this is what was seen in 1987 by the only woman to ever see him in action. He'd go on to mail 16 bombs across the country over the course of 18 years. And this is a picture of a young Ted Kaczynski, the man that did it. The Unabomber was incredibly hard to catch because he lived in this shed and was a total recluse. It was actually his brother's wife that suggested that Ted was the Unabomber because she recognized his writing style in a letter that he had written to authorities. Thank God for observant women, and let me know if there's anyone else you want to see.
There's a cave in China where hundreds of coffins were found. Rumors say that vampire ancestors are in a deep sleep, and if you open the coffins, you'll break the curse and awaken the dead. But this isn't actually the case, and the real reason why those coffins are there might surprise you. You see, in ancient times, people that lived in the city of Anshun, China, moved over into the mountainy regions in order to avoid war. Their beliefs were that by placing a coffin high up in a mountain, it would be closer to heaven. Then by letting the wooden coffins rot away, the souls would successfully cross over.
What happened to the dog?
Creep on in, on in, on in. If you see another person that looks identical to you, run away and hide.
This is why these old cathedrals freak me out. So in Loudun, France in the 1600s, there was this cathedral. And one day, all of the nuns that worked there were complaining about having the same nightmare. All of them were seeing this shadowy figure that they referred to as the Cloth Man. He would appear angelic at first, but then would quickly turn demonic. This was terrifying the nuns, but it started getting so much worse. See, after these nightmares started happening, the nuns started showing symptoms of demonic possession. Mass hysteria broke out, and some of the nuns were able to bend over backwards so their shoulders were touching their ankles. It was also said that others were caught levitating. But these nuns thought they knew who was doing this to them. The head priest at this cathedral was a man by the name of Father Grandier, and he was accused of practicing black magic. He was eventually burned at the stake, but they were not able to exorcise the demons out of the nuns. And in fact, many of the men who tried to perform exorcisms suffered horrible fates, even claiming that Grandier's ghost was tormenting them from beyond the grave.